천자문,
千字文
千字文
In this lesson, we will look at characters 457 through 464 of the 1,000 character classic, the 1,500-year-old Chinese classic in which no characters are repeated. Ascending the steps to enter the palace.
승계納兵
陞階納兵
升阶纳陛
Ceremonial caps turning, resembling stars.
변전이성
弁転疑星
变转疑星
Let's look at line 115. I'll offer an English translation character by character. Rise, ascend. Stairs, floor. Offer, receive. Throne. Together, they can be translated as ascending the steps to enter the palace. Let's hear it pronounced. You'll hear it from a recording in Korean, Japanese, and Chinese.
승계納兵
陞階納兵
升阶纳陛
On to line 116, character by character. Ceremonial cap. Turn, rotate. Suspect, doubt. Star. Together they can be translated as ceremonial caps turning, resembling stars. Now let's hear it pronounced.
변전이성
弁転疑星
变转疑星
Let's look at a few radicals or components. First, notice that 457, 458, and 460 all have the same radical. That's the mound radical. Remember, if that component appears on the right side of the character, it is actually a different radical, one that means city or town. That's radical 163. Now look at 458. The right side components are the same as character 934, which means each or every. There are a lot of repeated components between these three characters. It reminds me of an algebraic equation. The top right of 458 and 460 is the compare character. The bottom right of 457 and 460 is the soil character. 461 uses the two hands radical. Another character in the classic indexed with this radical is the 590th one, which means abuse or vice. 463 uses the bolt of cloth radical. Another character of the classics using this radical is the 722nd one, which means pass through or note. Based on the 8 characters of these two lines, I've come up with a word list. I've tried to select words that are common and relevant to Japanese, Korean, and Chinese. Now you'll hear the words spoken in each language. Ascend, rise.
상승
上昇
上升
Stage, stairs.
계단
階段
阶段
Pay taxes.
납세
納税
纳税
Your Majesty.
폐하
陛下
陛下
About face, to change stance.
전향
天候
转向
Operate, work, drive.
운전
運転
运转
Question, interrogation.
의문
疑問
疑问
Satellite, moon.
위성
衛星
卫星
Constellation.
성좌
星座
星座
Have a look one more time at the words of this lesson. See which ones you remember. Okay, let's move on. Now I'll take one more look at each of the characters and offer a few additional notes and perhaps pose a question or two. I'll also give each character a rating. A rating of 5 suggests the character is common and essential. A rating of 1 suggests the character could be obsolete. So first look at 457. This character puzzles me. As it appears here, it is very rare, but there is another commonly used character shown here that has the similar pronunciation and meaning, and that character is fairly common in Japanese and Korean. And I think in ancient Chinese, these two were different characters, but in simplified Chinese, both characters become the one you see here. This character is very common in Japanese, as it's used to indicate what floor an apartment or office is on. So in a city with high buildings, you'll definitely see this character every day. And in all 3 languages, the character appears in the word for stairs, though there is a more common word for stairs in Chinese. This character is frequently used in Chinese for transcribing words with the na sound. I mean words that have come from foreign sources, such as Vienna, Barcelona, Ghana. It also appears in the Japanese word for natto, a sticky fermented bean. I noted that this word means something like Your Majesty. I think this expression remains common in modern Japanese as there is still an emperor. In Chinese, this character seems to be used just in its original meaning of cap or a military officer of low rank, and overall it's an obscure character. But in Japanese, it's quite common because it's used in the words for lawyer, lunchbox, and dialect. So basically in Japanese, it's a simplification of the character you see here. This one is also simplified in modern Japanese in this way. So look at how these words like drive, bicycle are written in Japanese versus Korean. And again, Korean uses the more traditional way of writing. Traditional Chinese writing didn't use a question mark, and that's still the case in Japanese writing today. So the Japanese and Korean word for question mark includes the character here, which makes sense as it has the meaning of doubt or suspect. And this character means star. If we're going to be more exact, the actual star is written with this, and so it means something like permanent, while a planet is written in this way, and that character on the left means go, so this is more like moving. That's a wrap for this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll look at lines 117 and 118, which continue to explore the palaces.
천자문,
千字文.
As always, I remind you that my skills are not advanced in these languages, so it's quite likely I've made some mistakes or forgotten something obvious. The goal of this channel is to make a video for each line of the 1000 character classic, while using this classic as a lens to explore language study methods and connections between the Chinese, Japanese, and Korean languages. I wish you happy and productive language studies.